Hello everyone, welcome to Season 4, Round 5 of my F1 2012 career mode. I am LoveSpuds and today we're at Spain at the Catalunya circuit near Barcelona. That was a mouthful. And here's my qualifying lap. Got into Q3 obviously, currently lying in 5th with a time of 1:22.169. Let's see if I can improve that because I have to meet my objective of 4th or higher. So, lap's got off to not a bad start. Sector 1 is usually my strongest sector on this track, so hopefully I can get most of my time here. Most of my purple times there, I suppose, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, almost 4/10 up on the fastest time so far. But sector 2 is a bit of a dodgy one. I always lose time on this corner, this sort of chicane type corner going up the hill. Probably should use a bit of curves going up there, but it's not too big a worry. And I cannot go flat on that bit because my aerodynamics don't allow for that.
3 minutes to go.
As you can see, I'm down to a 10th behind now. Sector 3 is not too bad. I've lost a bit too much time on that little bit there I just went through. I would have liked to have done that a little bit faster. Going around the chicanes that I hate. Well, the chicane that I hate, just before the last long sweeping bend to the start-finish straight. Let's see what we can do. It's going to be 1:21.111. Still just 500ths of a second off Fernando Alonso's time. So, yeah, it's okay, but I am still a 10th off the fastest time, which is a bit discouraging, considering this is one of my favourite tracks. Let's see what I can do. You have to excuse me, I am drinking cider. So, yeah. So, not a bad start. I haven't got changed positions just yet. I might be able to make it around the outside of Alonso, but I do brake a bit too early most of the time for this corner. Especially when I'm starting the race, I think I'm faster than I actually am. I'm going to try and go around the outside, do an Alonso. So it didn't put it off too well. Vettel took the space that Alonso was occupying. So I wasn't expecting Vettel to be that slow, but never mind. No harm done. Should be able to move up the inside of Vettel now. Just gently force him out onto the gravel. Lovely jubbly. And Alonso's claimed that 6th place back from him. So doing alright now, we're up into 5th. See if we can catch up to Rosberg ahead. Certainly not impossible, but the longer I leave it, the more chance there is that they are going to pull away from me, especially if I am just a few tenths off the ultimate pace. If it's anything like last year, when Raikkonen got ahead and absolutely blitzed me right to the end, I assume the same thing is going to happen this time round. I just wish that last chicane wasn't there. I wish it was the old layout. But I bitch about that every time I come here, so I should stop flogging a dead horse, really. So there you go. He's already got a gap of a second, which is bad news for me if I'm going to have any chance of getting DRS on them. But the good thing is they are fighting each other up there, so they might slow down ever so slightly. Gone a bit wide there, but no harm done. Run off into the green bit, doesn't slow you down, but any further over than the green bit, you will the game will forcibly slow you down. But I'm right up to the back of Rosberg now. Should be able to maybe make a move on the top of the hill once we get up there. There's not very much room to do anything here. Might be a bit too far behind, I'm not sure. Oh, especially if I do that as well. Yeah, that's why I can't go full throttle through that bit, because that's what will happen. I got onto the power a bit too early that time round, went a bit too wide, but I'm right back where I was behind Rosberg, so no real harm done. Just means I am still in 5th rather than 4th by now. Let's go around here. Just got to be so careful not to throw the car off balance. Which will be a problem a little bit later on when the tyres start to be worn away. So DRS is enabled. Unfortunately, I wasn't within the second line at the detection zone, so which means I'm more under threat from Alonso than I am having a chance at having Rosberg's position. But I do have decent straight line speed in this car, except maybe I could have done with a little bit more downforce around the corners. But you live and learn. Yes, the same setup doesn't work for every car. I mean, it kind of does, but the little tweaks are needed most of the time. Tweaks that I'm just not able to do most of the time. But I'm right up behind Rosberg here. I need to back off ever so slightly, otherwise I will lose the downforce. I'm going to make a move. Going to go around the outside of this corner. Should be okay to do this. Give him enough room. But I managed to make the move stick. No contact either, which is lovely. And now I'm up to 4th. Let's see if I can get to Schumacher. It's going to be a bit hard, especially if I corner cut as well and lock up. But yeah, coming around to start that 4. This is being recorded after first practice of the German Grand Prix. Second practice will start in about an hour's time. Obviously by the time you see this video it will have finished and it will probably be about 6 or 7 o'clock or after. That's how long the bloody thing takes to upload. But anyway, looks like Hamilton and Rosberg are quick yet again. Mercedes looking strong as they were in Silverstone, which is nice to see. Rosberg not really thinking about his title chances so far. I mean, it must be at the back of his head, but in the press meeting he said he was out to annoy Vettel, just to be in front of him, which is fine by me. It keeps the championship interesting, that's for sure. You don't want to see Vettel out front all the time, especially while Alonso and his Ferrari are very strangely off the pace for some reason. I just don't know why they're so off the pace. Maybe they brought an upgrade that just didn't work. But never mind. That's racing for you. At least someone else is there to challenge Red Bull at the moment. Yes, more reports on the Grand Prix Drivers Association threatening to boycott the race if the tyre problems from Silverstone happen again. But to be honest, I don't think they will. Tyre blowouts are less likely here anyway, especially with the lower tyre temperatures and the lower speeds in some areas. It's not so stressful on the tyres as Silverstone is. Plus, Pirelli have brought along their new construction tyres, which are made from, well, certain bits are made from Kevlar rather than the steel ones they had previously. So, all credit to Pirelli, they did get those tyres out quickly, so that's it's a good start at least. So I wouldn't think anyone's boycotting this race anyway. I don't think that's really a problem. And Pedro de la Rosa, who is currently the leader of the Grand Prix Drivers Association, he's happy that his tyres are safe now anyway, so that puts that issue to bed for a little while, unless something happens on the race on Sunday. So yeah, we'll see. And then the next race in Hungary in 3 weeks' time, there will be a further change, going back to a version of the construction used last year. So basically going to last year's tyres, but I assume it's still the same compound. Under pressure from Rosberg again. Schumacher seems to have gone off in the distance with the other two, which is unfortunate. I think that's the two Lotuses up front of Grosjean and Kimi. I think Grosjean is the lead car currently. After Kimi always goes well round here in that Lotus, it seems. He was fastest in practice, pretty much. And he was well up there in the qualifying, but I think Grosjean have just pipped him at the moment. See what the result is when the race ends. Yeah. In practice, first practice this is, Hamilton was 2/10 quicker than Rosberg, and yet Hamilton still says he's not happy with 100% happy with the car as yet, which is quite amazing really. Makes you wonder what car is actually capable of when Hamilton's in a happy place, so to speak. But still, at least Rosberg is keeping him on his toes, which is what I like to see. Force India are looking quick again, but to be honest, you can't tell too much from first practice because you got the likes of Sebastian Vettel was 8th fastest for some reason. Probably just taking it easy really, not really trying so hard. But the interesting thing about Vettel is he's never won his home Grand Prix. Also, another interesting fact, he's never actually won a Grand Prix in July.
No more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
Check that if you will, but that's what I have read. That he's never won a Grand Prix in July, so yeah. And Webber usually finishes ahead of him on the Nürburgring anyway. But I'm sure he'll want to put things right this weekend. So it looks like Mercedes could actually be on for another win. Ferrari are off the pace so much that I don't think they're going to be in the running. Webber might be up there with them, like it was last weekend. I don't see any big surprises coming through. And Hamilton might even be able to take the win this weekend if he doesn't have any technical problems. But we will see. Yeah, and Alonso having problems in the first practice session as well. Some sort of mechanical problems in that car. Don't know quite what it was. Hopefully that will get sorted out soon. The McLarens, well, Jensen 7th, Sergio 10th. That's about kind of where they are. They might even fall back a bit during qualifying anyway, so they'll probably be struggling to get in the points yet again. Raikkonen in 5th, Grosjean in 9th. Just round about where they are, I think. But yeah, overall not a hugely interesting practice session as far as I can see. To be honest, I didn't see it. I was out. Unfortunately, I had to go out, so yeah, but I'll be right there for the second practice session, so let's see who comes out on top on that one.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
And as you can see on the screen, I am having problems dealing with Rosberg here. Just haven't been able to catch up. Just irritating me. You can see by spinning my wheels off that last corner. And Perez is actually up to 6th. I think he's still in his option tyres though. I think that's what the engineer told me. Raikkonen's in 2nd, so that must mean Grosjean's in the lead. Unfortunately, that's going to mean some good points hauls for the Lotus team. And some good haul for the Mercedes team as well. It looks like we're going to slip back in the Constructors. Seeing as Jensen's at the back end of the points. Probably down his 7th, 8th or 9th again. Oh, definitely not 7th. I suppose he's in 9th or 10th at the moment. Which is unfortunate. I hope whatever upgrades I'm putting on these cars during the research and development are actually going to do something. Apparently what the testing that we did in the practice session for this track, the R&D part failed anyway, so I have no idea if it was going to make any difference or not. But usually by the end of the season, my car is pretty decent anyway, so hopefully that's down to that. But then again, last year with Ferrari it was an aggressive research path, so that made a bit of a difference. This year it's a balanced path, because I didn't actually get to choose it anyway, so whatevers. I think I've just noticed what the problem with Alonso's car was. Apparently it's believed to be something with the electrics. No specifics as yet. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But electrics can be easily sorted, so it's not a big deal. It's not as if it was the engine or the gearbox. Well, unless it's... depends what electrical system it is, I suppose. I'm no expert, of course. Let's have a quick look at the gossip columns. As you can see, there's not a lot going on screen. I'm just chasing after Rosberg at the moment. Getting ever closer. I might be within a second here, I'm not sure. Let's see if I can do it. Trouble is, he gets such a good run out of that last corner than me. It's not doing anything. I'm just going to use up my KERS and DRS, see if I can get up to the back of him at least. See, I've already hit my limiter, so I ain't got nothing more to give. Which is unfortunate, so I've only just got back to it. I might actually be closer next time round though. Not if I have to lift off from that corner though. Which is unfortunate, I didn't have quite the angle that I needed. Whoa! Bit of a slide as well. Yeah. Just don't have the required pace. The AI are surprisingly quick around this circuit compared to other circuits. And this is one of the circuits I know really well. And he's running full revs out in front. I think I'm saving mine at the moment. I mean, it's mix 2. We'll just ignore that corner cutting. Oh, interesting bit of news there actually, I've just seen. Gossip. Once I get it up. There we go. Wow, I can't read all that. Basically, I've just seen something in the gossip column that FIA race director Charlie Whiting estimates that the 2014 cars will be around 3 seconds per lap slower than this year's cars. That's interesting. I didn't really expect that, to be honest. Although, I don't know if it's necessarily to do with the engine changes and regulation changes, but it might be to do with it being a different package, being a different car. The aerodynamics might be a little bit different. Maybe with the teams getting used to it. Because this year's cars are the evolutions of, well, most of them are of last year's cars. So they are really quite quick, and they're excuse me. They're quick, and they are being developed all the time anyway. So you would expect this year's cars to be quicker. But it'd be interesting to see what the actual differences in time is, what it is next year. But 3 second difference, that's quite a change actually. I mean, ideally you'd want them to be around the same sort of pace as this year's cars. Really, but you never know. It's sort of it's an untested thing at the moment. Until they get the cars out and actually produced for next year and get them out on the track and test them, they won't really know. But you never know. You never know. Sauber are having financial problems. There are reports that claim Sauber has been struggling to pay its bills and stopped development of its C32 chassis. Interesting. I hope they don't go under, to be honest. That would be horrible. Yeah, so unfortunately Nico Hülkenberg might actually be regretting his move to Sauber. I mean, I would be if I was in that position. I mean, it was last year the Force India's financial reputation was a bit under threat, but now it seems to be Sauber's, which is really unfortunate. And they've got a slower car this year. If Sauber had the sort of car they had last year and was doing well, Nico would have probably been happy with that, but unfortunately he jumped ship from Force India, who actually have a good car this year, and that was a really unfortunate move, because he's probably going to be a bit off the radar this year for any decent drives that are coming up, especially now that Mark Webber's seat is vacant. You know, could have been an opportunity missed, unfortunately, but Nico is a really good driver, which is the real tragedy. Try and say that correctly. Because I want to see him in a Ferrari or something, or in a decent top-end car, see what he can actually do. It's just unfortunate he decides to make that move, because even Force India weren't expecting him to move, which was the weirdest thing. It's sort of a last-minute thing, and then he had all those months where we didn't know who was going to fill that extra Force India seat, and then it ended up being Sutil of all people. But hey ho, gotta make your bed and lie in it, I suppose. Okay, so where are we on here? Rosberg has buggered off into the distance because I'm falling off the pace a little bit. My pace in that first sector was actually purple, but that's the problem. The second sector's the real time waster. And unfortunately Rosberg did manage to get past that back marker as well. The only chance I have now of getting fourth is if Rosberg gets held up by some back markers, which I am hoping it does happen, because he seems to be coming up behind a train of them. A train of at least 3 or 4 cars. And another 2 ahead of that. So let's see what we can do. I've actually gone purple in the second sector. Don't know how. Probably because I noticed there was lapped cars coming up ahead. Oh, 22 cars left in the battle. And I've completely fucked up that last chicane as well, which will have lost me quite a lot of time to Rosberg. Oh, that train of cars at the front also contains Raikkonen, Grosjean and Schumacher, so Rosberg's not actually far off the back of that lot. And he did set the fastest lap as well. If I didn't fuck up that last sector, I may have been near that. My best time's a 1:23.8, that's only a few tenths off the fastest time. So, yeah, we'll see. Vern pretty much getting in the way, just wide enough to let me through. Alright, 5 seconds up the road is Rosberg. Might be a bit too far off, but you never know. Hopefully the AI can derp out on him. The AI derping out on the AI. That'll do me just fine. Still got to worry about Alonso though, he is going to be making up some ground. Oh shit, he's actually right behind me. I was looking at something on the map, I saw someone overtaking a back marker, but yeah, Alonso is actually within a second, so he'll probably get DRS, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. I have full KERS, which I intend to use here, as Rosberg is definitely being held up there by the back markers. I think this is my last chance. He's going to get past now. And unfortunately, I didn't get DRS.
If we take this guy, we gain some points.
Just basically using up all of my curves to get to the rev limiter. Look at the amount of time I made up though. If I didn't mess up at that last chicane a lap or two ago, I might have been able to do it. That's a real bummer, that is. Because I'm only 1.1 seconds behind. I made up about 4 or 5 seconds though. I could have done it. Could have done it. Could have got me a few more points in the championship battle. Oh, for God's sake, Kartikeyan, what are you doing? You freaking cucumber. Right. Okay. Last lap, last sector. And my tyres are sliding across the surface of the marbles as well. Brilliant. But yeah, it looks like we're going to come home in 5th unless Alonso decides he's going to go on a mega charge and boot me off the circuit or something. Yeah, there we go. Grosjean has won the race. He was indeed the lead Lotus today. Kimi just didn't have the pace to catch up to him, and Schumacher and Rosberg finished 3rd and 4th, and Mr. Spuds in 5th. So quite a disappointing day. Jenson Button managed to get the points in 9th. That's 2 extra points for him, which is not too shabby. But the constructors sort of slipping away yet again this year. But still a long way to go. Even Felipe Massa is getting an extra point as well. God damn it. Yeah, Ferrari and McLaren and Red Bull at the back end of the top 10. Lotus and Mercedes taking full honours there. So a couple of DNFs at the bottom there. Oh, I haven't seen much of Kobayashi for a while. Sauber's not doing particularly brilliantly, sort of midfield-ish.
You're still first in the Drivers' Championship.
First in the Drivers' Championship, 17 points behind is Fernando Alonso on 76, Grosjean, Rosberg, Raikkonen, Schumacher, Maldonado, Vettel, Webber, Massa, Button, Perez. Well, that's the top 12. And then you got the rest down there. Caterham's ahead of the Toro Rossos, and Marusha's ahead of the Caterhams. Seems Vettel and Webber pretty much equal terms on that board. And again, the constructors, Lotus and Mercedes are definitely ahead of us. McLaren, 21 points off the top, especially as Lotus took the maximum points today. Ferrari are a little bit behind us, and 10 points behind us, so it could be a bit tight up the top there. But anyway, yep, join me next time for my nightmare race, which is Monaco, round 6. I'll see you then.